They told me I could not die here. Behind these walls, behind these gates, among my chosen thousand. I believed them. I believed that wealth could purchase safety and that stone could stop the wind. I was wrong. The Red Death had come to the country. It moved through the villages like a fire through dry grass. The blood came through the skin. The face became the mask. Half an hour from the first mark to the last breath. No one survived it. No one. I gathered my corps. 1,000 of the strongest, the wealthiest, the most beautiful. I brought them inside these walls and I sealed the gates, welded them shut. Iron against iron. No one in, no one out. The world could die outside. We would live inside. That was the arrangement. So we held a masquerade, not despite the plague, but because of it. If death was at the gates, then we would dance. If the world was dying, then we would drink. The party was proof that we were alive. The louder the music, the more alive we were. The first room was blue. Blue walls, blue velvet, blue light from the window. The fire behind the glass turned everything the color of a winter sky. This was the room where the music began. This was the room where we entered laughing. Blue is the color of the beginning. The second room was purple. The walls, the velvet, the light from the window, all purple. Darker, richer. The music was louder here, and the laughter was louder, and the wine was deeper, and the purple light made every face look like a painting. Beautiful and strange. The third room was green. The color of life, they said. But green is also the color of envy. And green is the color of the thing which grows on a body when the body is left too long in the earth. The fourth room was orange, warm, like firelight, like the last glow of a sun which is setting and which will not rise again. We danced here as though the warmth could protect us. It could not. The fifth room was white. Pure, they said. Clean. But white is also the color of bone. White is the color of ash. White is the color of a face from which all the blood is gone. The sixth room was violet, the color of dusk, the color of bruises, the color of the sky in the moment before the night takes it. We were almost at the end now. We could feel it. The music was slower here. The laughter was quieter. The violet light made us look like ghosts. And in the seventh room, black velvet on the walls, black carpet, black drapes. But the window was not black. The window was scarlet. And the fire behind it threw a light the color of blood across the black, and no one could look at it without feeling that something in that room was waiting. The clock stood here, ebony. Every hour the clock struck. And when it struck, everything stopped. The music, the dancing, the laughter. 1,000 people frozen where they stood, listening. And then the hour passed and we resumed. And we laughed at ourselves for stopping, and then the next hour came and we stopped again. At midnight, the clock struck 12. And in the silence which followed, I saw him, standing among my guests, dressed as the plague itself, the face of a corpse, the robe stained with blood. I did not see him arrive. No one did. He was simply there, as though he had always been there. I was not afraid. I was furious. This was my palace, my masquerade, my defiance. And this creature, this mockery, stood among my guests dressed as the thing I had spent my fortune and my power to escape. I ordered him seized. No one moved. 1,000 courtiers and not one of them. So I followed him myself. Through the blue room. He walked ahead of me and he did not hurry. And I followed with my blade drawn. And the blue light fell upon us both. He entered the seventh room, I followed. The black walls, the scarlet light, the clock above us, he turned. I raised my blade, and the blade fell from my hand, not because he struck me, because I could not hold it, because the thing I faced was not a man, and the weapon I carried was not made for the thing I faced.